and we're going to get started here. I'm James Hogan, your friendly neighborhood product consultant here at OptionVue, and hopefully you're going to have a good show here today. It's funny preparing for this. Still, after being here a few years and working with OptionVue every day, in and out, and not still learning things about the software. So we'll jump right in here. I'm going to go ahead and share my my desktop with you and get into my view. Go open here. So if there's any questions as I'm going along, I'll try to catch them. We're starting off here in the quotes display. I have my symbols listed here. I have different groups. I'm going to change this to make it a little darker for everyone to see. And it says here I can go to fonts, and I'm currently on Crispy. I'm going to go to original. It makes it darker, a little bit easier for everyone to see. So I have groups set up here in the quotes display. You can set this up and customize this however you want to. Right-clicking on any of the column headings at the top here, you can change any of these columns with these parameters here. What to do first is, let me show you, there's a couple things I wanted to show. Let's go, we'll start with the simplest first. I wanted to show you this, earnings have been talked about a lot around here lately, and about OptionVue users calling in, just because OptionVue is so customizable and you can really model the vol rush and what's going to happen the next day after earnings announcement comes out. So go ahead and show you. This is a neat feature in OptionVue. You can click on this E button in the upper right-hand corner here, E with like a little arrow through it, and pull up this window here. And what you can do is you can list companies that are announcing the next business day, or companies that are announcing the business day after that. So produce a nice list for you. Take a look at it that maybe you want to put some an earnings play on, or if there's going to be an edge, and you can definitely find out if there's an edge using OptionVue. I had someone call in early this week, and they wanted to do a look at a CarMax, KMX earnings play, and I put straddle on, and you know, we're trying to look at some directional stuff, and we found that there just wasn't an edge, and I put it on anyways, just to see what would happen. And in fact, the modeling was accurate, and that there, you know, it was not going to. Talking about an at-the-money straddle, it would not have played out well. So it's two, because you can see what's coming out here. It tells you AMC, that means after the market close. Of course, that's going to be tomorrow. So these are announcing after market close today. So, you know, you would have put, if you had an idea of a trade you wanted to put on, you would have put it on, you know, an hour and a half ago. And then see here, this is the dollar volume of options traded. So you're definitely going to want to, you know, the things aren't showing numbers here like this, but you're going to want to focus on some things that, of course, are going to have some nice volume going on, and liquidity, of course. Okay. You can also just say, hey, I only want to look at the selected option stocks, select all the option stocks, and then you can, you know, if you don't want to trade something or look at something that's trading at $4 a share because you know there's not going to be hardly any options going on there, that's something you can exclude as well. More parameters you could fill in there, but I wanted that feature. Don't think we've talked about it yet in one of these. I have a lost sound. Is everybody else still hearing me? Okay. Anybody else come through saying they're not hearing it? Okay, thanks, Wendy. All right, let's move on here. I wanted to jump into a matrix now. So what we do is, let's just take a look at JP Morgan. To go into a matrix, you can double-click on the symbol, or you can always go into this matrix button. They do the exact same thing. So go into the matrix here. And I wanted to talk about some of the parameters that you can set up for these for the columns here. Okay, and you can do that by right-clicking anywhere in the matrix, and it's going to pull up these parameters that I can have set up here. Okay, what you can do, some of these are going to be pretty self-explanatory. The last price option, the change from the night before, the bid, the asked, market price is something that you can set up yourself. Market price is something you would set up by going. I'm going to do that. Is model button here. You can go to option market price right here. Okay. What it defaults to, it's a very smoothed out average. It's the 10 of the bid plus 10 of the asked plus the last divided by 21. We also have the plus the last divided by 3, and then this one, and then just the last if you want to do that one. So, but again, this is market price. We're basically just taking an average of the bid and the ask, and that's what that is there. Going back in here, we have market price, your high, your low, what it opened at, what the previous was, what it closed basically the night before. But edge volume, this calculated by, basically you have to have a matrix. You have to have open every day. It basically takes a 4-day average. But if you haven't had the matrix open for this particular underline in 4 days, then it's just going to take today's volume number. If you have opened it the day before, it's going to take the average of those past 2 days until you have 4 days of an average. That's how the average volume is calculated in here. Open interest on these numbers, I had a question about this week. The open interest numbers are calculated at the close the day before. So when you see open interest numbers in this parameter field, that's the open interest from the closing of the night before. The next day, you would see the closings of, like tomorrow, you'd see the, at the morning, you'd see the openness from numbers from the night before, from last night, from tonight. Time, this is a nice feature to kind of maybe you're getting, you know, your live quotes are coming in, or make sure you're on the most recent timestamp if you're using BackTrader. You can select this as a column, and it'll show you this is the time that this data came in at. Symbol, easy. Trade, this is the trade field here. This is for when we're proposing a trade to put on or investment. The at price is what OptionVue thinks you'll get filled at. Basically what that is, it's going to be between the bid and the ask, depending on if you have slippage at none. This takes into account the slippage you have set up. Okay, so if you have slippage set to moderate, like I like to kind of model saying I'm going to get somewhere in between bid and the ask. I'm not going to get the best price or the worst price, and you can set that up for each matrix. Our underline right here where it says slippage is moderate. Okay, set this up universally for anything you open. Right, for anything you open, or you customize these to be for each underline if you wanted to. Okay, the price there, that's how that's calculated based on slippage. Existing position, this is if you actually converted a trade in one of the fields, converted it, it would then go into the existing position field here, and it would go into your T-log up here, and it would be recorded as a transition. You could track it moving forward in time. Or if you're testing, that's how you want to back test, by converting the trade and then making adjustments and following it. Original price, that's what you know, if you actually put the trade on, it'll show you the original price you got filled at. Commissions, what commissions were for that original position as well. Exchange, what exchange you're getting the quote from. Bid size, ask size, volume numbers, percent change, you know, is going to be the percent it's changed from the day before. Theoretical price, this is going to be based on the modeling you have selected. We go up here to model. Got to close model. Go into model, and we go into volatility and settings, and these are the models that we're using. Okay, based on the model you have set up there, it's going to choose the theoretical price for you. Okay, parameter there. Difference. This is the difference between the market price and the theoretical price. Okay, this is going to be the percent overviewed undervalued. So these kind of parameters kind of all tie together here. Time premium. How many option? The mid IV, this is the, you have the bid IV and the ask IV. This is an average of the bid and the ask IV. Project volatility, and we'll make these columns of projected volatility. This is showing you, I'm on a variable model right now. Okay, and so we're going to be able to see is volatility skew here, based on the variable model we're using. Okay, switch that. I can set to a uniform model just to show what it's going to look like. We're going to look like it's going to give everything the at the money volume, at the money MIVs are going to be all the same across the board. So there's a lot of software out there that just uses a uniform volatility model. Let me go back and change that. Okay, volatility. This is the EIOIO. This is how Thinkorswim models. A lot of platforms out there model. Basically, what it means is that, you know, let's take a look at that and we'll hit OK. So this volatility, each individual on its own is what it means. So that means that basically this, we'll move up here a little bit so we can see the at the money. So we got the 41 here in October. It's projecting that into the future it's going to be 28.1. So it's 28.1 today, tomorrow, and indefinitely in the future. Well, we all know that's not true because if the line moves up or down, of course, these volatility numbers are going to change. So that's where, you know, OptionVue's volatility model comes into play here. Back to variable, and then I'm going to show you. So if I want to look at the skews, I can graph these skews and I can show you. So basically these percentages that you're seeing listed out here, you know, whether I'm looking at the September, which has only left, of course, or the October. These numbers here are going to be represented in the graph right here for each strike. Okay. Kind of defines what that projected volatility, and I get to tell you about a little bit about, you know, the money and OptionVue there too. Let's go ahead and move on here. Percent to double. This is a neat one. This is going to tell you how much the underlying has to move in order for the option to double in price. Okay, that thing to be able to look at there. Ability of any of the option finishing in the money. Okay, on standard deviations and time, of course. You know, as you move out in time, these let's take a look at another parameter. Probably ever touching. This is a fairly new one. This just came out this year. Okay, it's blank. But what happened now is this new button appeared up here. Okay, this is kind of like we used to have a free Carlo-based ability calculator that we offer for free. We don't anymore, so you got to have OptionVue to take advantage of this types of calculations. But what this does is it's going to go out there right now and it's going to calculate what the probability of option ever being, the underlying ever being touched at this price. Of the underlying ever going to these prices. That's what that is. You have to actually run that. If you have huge option chains, it's going to take a little bit longer because it's doing a calculation. Okay. And the last column over here, we have our Greeks. Okay. So delta of the entire position. If you have a bunch of positions on it, it'll give you the total delta. The rest of the Greeks here, the gamma, the position, theta, but your entire position, and you got vega and rho down here as well. Okay. Pretty much what I want to cover as far as the parameters go there. It's kind of neat. Another thing you can do is you can go up here at the top and go to matrix format, and you can have up to 3 defaults. Okay, this is my first default, market price, MIV trade, 15% delta. And then I have my second one that I like to be able to see. Okay, must have changed it when I was doing a walkthrough with somebody, but I usually like to have, I'll set it up. I like to have last, I like to have the ties so it's easy to find them. The bid, and I like to have and open interest, and then I go up here. Set at default too. That's what I did wrong. I should have gotten my default instead of set it, but that's what I had before. I had the set default, and then you can have up to 3 of them And you can see the actuals, which are up here. If you had futures, they would show up here as well, but you could change those too. You can also change the summary section that's down here, changing these fields as well. Okay. Now, if I liked, like I said, I want to go back to my original default. The format button, you can format each individual matrix by itself here if you want to. Like I said, I went to view at the top, and this is for the entire, anytime you open a matrix. But you can do the same thing for each individual underlying matrix right here. And then if I want to switch, I can quickly hit my number 1 button, my number 2, and then number 3. That's what it would be there. So there's my number 1. Now, what you can do also is you can on the fly change these. So I want last. I wanted to change this to the open, or actually, let me say to time medium left. And then I want to hit this M button. So if I hit the M button here and then hit 3, I've memorized it. That means memorize and put it in selection here. So now I can switch between my 3 different views, and by that M3 you can just so OptionVue. Always different ways to do the same thing, which is kind of neat. Okay. Legend button I want to show you real quick. See how I want to see this 44 call up here. Well, there's a way to do it, a couple ways to do it. You can scroll up to the top here. Actually, I want to see the 49. I'm going to right on the arrow. Right on this arrow, and this left clicking, and it's going to pull in a strike above 49. Well, I don't want this legend here. I know what my columns are. I'm just going to hit this legend button, and it's going to get rid of the legend for me. So you can hear. Option does. That's what the S means here. S means the option doesn't exist. R means that has not traded today. So when you see an S, it's not doesn't exist. R means it hasn't traded. One you could always do is hit Control M on your keyboard, and what it would do is it would fill in theoretical prices for these here. Okay. Control T is going to change everything to theoreticals. Okay, just so you guys to know. And let me look at my. I want to show you one of the things I get a lot of questions about. I'm going to do the site analysis here. So I'm going to minimize this down, restore down. Okay. I want to look at, let's say I want to look at next week's weeklies. Okay. And I want to look at standard deviation, which is kind of do with a weekly. But we'll go out here. Just one standard deviation. You could go up. I can't go further than that. Let's say 1 there, and we'll go down here. 1 is okay. Now you don't hit analyze. That's going to bring up the whole full screen. You want to hit this button over here, which is automatic update mode. Okay, I must have a different position on here, and of course I do. So let's change my account here. Go to test. I'll show you guys HedgeFinder. That's why I set up this HedgeFinder account. Let's just go to a test account here. Okay, it's going to show us this butterfly. Let's put on something else here. Always go up here and do something else. Clear trades. I want to do something that looks a little better. Let's try a horizontal and see what that looks like. And mine, let me put the legend back on so you guys can see that I'm putting it in the trade field, not the existing position field. And is this one right here? You see that it's showing me the selling the one at the money call and buying the October. We'll do the same thing for you. Okay. Horrible. This is to a spread in the weeklies. Okay. And you can open this up if you want to. Okay. You'll be able to scale in or scale out by having the arrow going back and forth. You can, in or zoom out. You can interval by right-clicking anywhere in the screen. I wanted my interval to be $2 instead of where it was 4, it'll make that adjustment for you. And you can see the strikes now are at $2 intervals down at the bottom here. Looking at profit loss. Basically, we've versions we've made this easier with these created more space to do this by moving these prices. You can change up here. You can change the volatility if you want to. If volatility is going to increase tomorrow, let's see what that's going to do to your position. It's going to shrink your lines. It's going to drop by 10. Okay. You can change profit loss to yield or annual yield if you want to. You can see these change over here. Okay. You can. We're looking at today right now. So if we look at September 25th and expiration here, next to 29th. Okay. Showing you the break-even lines, which is going through right here. You have to click on this here to move it around. Okay, I'm going to shift that around. You want to see it like that. Who wants it like that? So you can just do that, and it goes down for you there. Okay, sometimes these numbers might be small. Okay, a little bit smaller than you're seeing in mine. What you can do is you can go up to File Preferences at the top here, and go to, and I have mine set on the larger font so that these are easier to see. Okay, my quotes display and my matrix, my matrix here. These colors look like nothing you've had your OptionVue. Always go to colors. You can go to custom here. Okay, I want a custom color, and then you define custom color. You can really have fun playing around with these different colors by moving this around. You can see. So it's a neat way to be able to, kind of have the way you want it to look when you want to see your standard deviations. Always turn those standard deviations by hitting this S button here. Okay. That's deviations here. This darker color is representing the first standard deviation, and the color is representing the second, and the white is the third. Okay. T will fill in missing prices. I got a question here. Control T will fill in missing prices with theory prices. Find this stuff. I want to take you guys real quick over here. This is site here. I go to support, and so much information here. It's overwhelming sometimes, but I go to this user guide here. My contacts here. The table of contents where you can find information about all these things. I was definitely looking at HedgeFinder today, so I could talk to you guys about this today. Modeling the matrix is here. The survey function, we're going to talk about this in a second here. But this is where I go to find all this information. It's like a couple. It's about 100 and long. So you can scroll through here and find out anything you possibly want to find. I was looking at this matrix to tell you about the different parameter headings and things like that. Instead of watching videos all the time, maybe you want to just get some real down to the facts how this is calculated. This is where you go to OptionVue.com and then to support right here. And these are videos. And this is the quick get started guide, and this is the user guide PDF that we just looked at now. Okay. So going up back to OptionVue. Okay. I'll talk to you about status now. I'm going to switch to my HedgeFinder account here. Good. Let me make sure status is this right. So I click on my status button here. Okay. What you want to do is you can work with this window open. So if I wanted to go over here and go into a matrix, SPX, say, I can do that. Status will remain open. Now the thing about this being open is once you open it, it's taking a snapshot of your entire portfolio. It's not automatically updating with quotes. You have to hit this refresh button here for it to pull in fresh data throughout the day. Now, is where these reports are generated from. Okay, these reports will give you, your gain loss of unrealized, combined, or realized, the performance graph of how everything's done. Like I said, I just created this the other day. It'll give you performance analysis. It'll tell you how your portfolio is done as far as total gains, losses, percentages of those, annualized returns, average winner, average loser. Okay, so it's a really nice report, a nice summary here of different of a portfolio. This is where all this information is generated from. We go to status, and like I said again, you want to have this in order for everything to calculate and create a nice graph for you. Whenever you open up OptionVue, it's a good idea to open up your status button and minimize it. Just keep it down so it's open. It's a good idea to get in the habit of opening status. Okay, we have a number of columns here that you can customize clicking here. Okay, tell you your percent gain and loss, percent of account that this position is currently taking up in your portfolio there. Let's see, days to expiration of that. Of course, if you're long, it's going to be a blank date if you're long and underline. This is something only offered in the Pro version. It's the difference between the current value and the theoretical price, meaning right now a positive edge good, negative edge bad. Okay. What you would be if you had a standard edition would be percent utilized, and what that means is the percentage, of the entire account that's being utilized by that current position. Okay. Delta of the portfolio, delta of that particular asset. But you can change any of these column headings here to have whatever you want. Left click here, just like on the quotes display, hit the insert button, and you can put something else in here. If you have alerts, 2% gain loss. That's what the position is doing for you. That's not a good spread I put on yesterday. So over here you have the value of your account, the change since the last time you opened status. Like I said again, that's why you're going to want to open status every day so you can see, okay, what have I done in the past day here. Otherwise, it's going to say, what the been since the last time you opened the status. This is going to tell you what your positions are, what the value of positions are, the cash on hand that's in your account, my edge, just talked about that, and then your buying power. This all has to do with your margin settings. You set your margin. And we use standard securities margin settings, but if you have something different going on, you can go ahead and choose if you wanted to. Okay, so that's calculating and then your margin requirements. Your portfolio based on R2. This is basically kind of the Bain's industry standard beta that is calculated to say that your under is going to move according to some index that's out there, and the 2 is how close your line or position in the options is going to mirror that. And so it does a calculation. I'm not going to get into exactly extra definitions of those, but you can find out in that the OptionVue manual that I showed you on our support site. Okay, and basically what we're looking for to find a good beta delta base is you want that R2 factor to be as high as possible. So 44 is the highest. I could use the SPX. I just have the SPX here, showing you based on the SPX as a portfolio base. There we have a 36. So basically, we're 36 SPX deltas is what our portfolio is long right now. Realized gain, I haven't closed any of these positions, so there's nothing there. Unrealized, I am taking a hit since I created this yesterday. Any day since you opened the account. Net deposits and withdrawals since this account has started. Showing you the time premium right now. So I've got a negative 1.1 time premium theta going on right now. So basically, it's like a good day right now, the way it's set up. So you can always these valuations here to include slippage and commissions as well if you want to. We're going to go to HedgeFinder now. Looking at HedgeFinder is going to look at my existing portfolio based on my portfolio beta and my beta delta here of SPX. So it's looking at this in terms of SPX. Okay. What shaded area means on both sides here is it's saying it's given standard deviation margin. So it's saying that with this range here, based on everything you have in here, you're going to be covered in this is where you're based on the like I said the SPX here. So it's taking into a calculation into effect that these aren't going to all move together, but we're in this range range of error. So it's giving us a kind of a bigger line here. Now I want to find a hedge here. Okay, I'm going to click on Find Hedge. I want to be hedged for 2 months. Okay, and I want to make sure I'm protected from let's just say a 7% loss in my portfolio. I don't want to do this if you want to sell credit spreads to pay for the cost. I'm going to say no, and I'm going to continue, and it's going to work here because it's going to go out and it's going to look at all the SPX options I have out there for that time frame, and it's going to come back with a hedge. Now, you want to make sure that you have your SPX open when you do this. Okay, you want to make sure if you're going 6 months out in time, you're going to want to make sure that you have selected there. Okay, and you would go into define, and then you would go to auto strike, and you would say I want to select that the leaps are enacted or enabled so that you can hedge that far out in time. Okay, existing portfolio plus 1 December, buying 1 September, 1375 put. This would be the cost of it. This is what your portfolio looks like with the hedge. It's December here, 2 months out, and this is my portfolio unhedged. I'm showing you prices. These are as the SPX moves this way, down or up. Okay. So that way to look at your entire portfolio in terms of delta base. If you tech, you'd probably be looking more at the Qs, beta delta. It's not even me because it's just not going to produce a number that's even worth looking at. You have these other ones over here that are producing R2 numbers for you. Because I have $2,500 in this Google trade, or not even, and then I have all my other positions in these longs lines like in Target and JP Morgan. Okay. That you can also, of course, look at the status of other accounts pretty quickly if you wanted to. If I wanted that, let's just say I want to look at my. Showed this a while back. This is a back test I did a while back on weeklies when weeklies started. Now I don't have any in this, but it's going to give you. I can push this so I know what's going on here. I was going to show you the value, my cash. I don't have any open positions. Again, I said my realized gain for this was 21,000. I close here, and I can go to my reports now, and I have to put my date because I started this last year. I actually did it. Here. Okay, so and because I was opening the status every day and checking out my positions, I'm able to create a nice graph. Creates these nice performance analysis numbers for me. You know, how many winning trades, percent winners, largest average, and then, you know, that kind of information is here. Annualized return, what it would be. Okay. Cover side by side. I did my earnings, so I covered everything I wanted to cover today. I don't think we've talked about HedgeFinder that much. It gets, you know, sometimes people want to know how is it coming up with these numbers. Well, that's why I recommend kind of reading a little bit more in our product manual about that. You can find tons of information about, you know, how best to hedge and how the beta delta base is calculated and all that kind of stuff. But okay, someone wants to create a HedgeFinder test account. Yeah, I mean, what you do is you just go. All I did is I went in here. Actually, let me. You go into info. I want to create a new account. When you get an OptionVue trial, it'll say sample. It'll say sample across the top here. It's not because you have a sample version of OptionVue. It's because you're in your sample account. You create a new account by clicking this button here. Whatever, you can call it whatever you want. Testing, test edge, whatever. And then you don't want to check any of these off. A super account, you know, what you would do would be, you wouldn't be really doing any transactions in it. What it's doing is you would use this to combine a number of different accounts that you had out there together. Say you had an account with IB or with Thinkorswim or Schwab or something like that, and you had different accounts in here, but you want to be able to use a portfolio management tool like this with all your accounts. Well, you could basically create a super account. It's going to parcel in all the transactions from all those accounts, and then you can find a hedge for all those accounts together. Or you can, you know, all your exposures, see all those numbers together. Now, date. This is what you do for back testing as well. Say I wanted to go to May 15th of 2006. Say I want to start the account. You can change the starting amount. This doesn't have to be locked in stone. Say you wanted to start out with $2,000. I hit OK. My account testing had started. Now, for this individual account, you can set up your futures commissions or your how much you're actually paying for options if you want to include commissions in your analysis. Okay. Margins here. You know, if you ever wanted to delete an account, you could do this. You would have to click this button first and then delete. Otherwise, it won't let you do that. Kind of a safeguard there. You can password lock these accounts. If you lose the password, we cannot help you retrieve those, though. We don't keep those. Those are strictly on your side in your system. Okay, I'm in my HedgeFinder account, and now what I would do is I just go ahead and go into my quotes display and start. Let me clear these trades out. And able to test out if I wanted to. I would click here and say I want to go 100 here, you know, and I would convert the trade. You know, I would click this. I could go into anything I wanted to, put a spread on. There, trade. So that's what I was basically doing is going through here yesterday and just creating some positions so that I could go into my T-log, see that I have them here. I don't have a lot of positions here, but I could then go into my status again. It's going to tell me where I'm at. I could go into HedgeFinder, gap there, and I want to find a hedge. Let's say before we do this, we'd have to look and see what our best. Of course, it's not going to be the SPX. It's going to be the OX. So we'll use that one as our. And we'll here. I'm only going to do this for a month. Let's say just the minimum 5, and I don't want to sell call credit spreads to pay for it. And you know, because they open. So they have the data coming in order for it to go out and look at these weekly. So now it's going to pull data for me. It's not going to because I'm not suspended. I'm going to unsuspend my quotes for a second here, suspend them, and now I'm going to go back into status, find my hedge for a month. I wanted to do 5% there, and no, continue. And this is 640 put. Okay, so it looked like before, and you're going to hedge. It's going to pull it all up for you. Okay. Okay, how do I sign up for future webinars in this series or using the OptionVue program? You can always go to if you're not on if you are on Facebook, like us on Facebook. We always put those announcements out there. Um, you'll get a notification when we post something coming up. Also, you can email me with new phone number, email address. I'll put you in the system and get on our email list. That's one way to do it. You can type in my email address here right now for you. Email me here, and I'll put you on the mailing list. The other thing is to go to my YouTube channel that I created. Where is it at? Did I get rid of it? I did. Let's see. This is my channel here. Okay, so some people are on Facebook. It's we're not emailing the link to these if you weren't at the event. I'm really diligently trying to put these up here a couple a week. Usually I'll put the Mondays we've been doing with our mentors. We've been doing free. This Steve Papali did this one this week, I believe. Frank Fahey's is on here from last week. Here's last week's with Frank. Okay, and you can see how long they are. Come in here. I've other things I've gone through. I found some that I thought would be helpful. How to use Backtrader, how to backtest. This is only 6 minutes long, but it'll show you how to use it as a data source and how to use it to backtest. Here's something I just created a couple weeks ago, saying, hey, when you first get OptionVue, maybe you want to check out your settings. And I go through here and I run through, set up the matrix, some defaults, sledge, things like that. Modeling. This is the most popular one yet. It's Steve and I did this last week. Actually, it was, and doing a comparison. I had my Thinkorswim program up in OptionVue, and I modeled, a position in OptionVue and Thinkorswim, and we were able to explain Thinkorswim and other platforms model versus how OptionVue models, and we even toned down OptionVue so that it could look just as modeling does. And we show the difference, and Steve goes in there and explains why we model this way and all the customized features in the modeling. The great video to watch. Only, like I said, it's a real short one, only 11 minutes there. So if you like this, go and subscribe. That way you'll get notified also if I post anything on here. But like I said, I'm going to keep putting here for you guys to check out. Okay. One really quick here. I had gone in here. This is I'm logged in to our Discover Options website. I just want to show you, as a mentoring student, you'd go into your classroom, you'd go into mentoring here, and I got to log in again. Long enough. I'll show you everything you have access to. And of course, you get your, we go into our classrooms and we go into here, training e-classes. These are the classes you would go into. You can view the slides, or you would go in there, you'd watch the video, do your homework, do a meeting with your mentor to review it, and one-on-one. It's never shared with anybody, so you can go at your own level. The other thing I really want to show you that I think is underestimated is just live inside webinars that are presented every week, particularly for mentoring students. They're recorded. So not the course material, but you get studies that Steve's researched, systems, different determination systems, different technical analysis techniques, and you've got hundreds and hundreds of these things, which is Condor back tests, money management. And this is something somebody told me that they didn't get in a lot of other places is, portfolio allocation strategies, where to have your portfolio spread out, how much options or sectors and options and things like that, scanning for trades. So OpScan tutorial, unbelievable amount of information, hours and upon hours of stuff that you get with, career hire. Okay, to point out that I think are really valuable. I'm just reading the question here. So I have someone on here that's looking for market cap. OptionVue is not going to scan. There's things OptionVue can scan for, and there's things that it can't scan for. Basically, we're going to look at the pure numbers of the options and the underlying volumes, open interest, things like that, volatility, skews. That's what scans for. Formulas that we have developed and created. I don't probably even have a quarter of or 10% of the formula that Steve Lentz has in his OptionVue, but whenever I see one, I throw it in mine quick just so I have it. This is great for doing calendars, horizontal skews from the front month to the second month or second month to the third month. Only thing with OpScan is we don't have weeklies in there yet. That's something we're working on, and I hope to get them in there really soon because that'd be huge. But when they asked me the other day, I want to see open interest greater than 100,000. Okay, here you go. I sent that out to him, helped him the other day. But great stuff in here. Okay, isn't going to do all the scans for you. What you're going to want to do is go to this famously free website that I'm turning people onto, and it's called finviz.com. There it is. Okay, this is a screener. Domestic fundamental and technical screener. Okay, I want to go to all and all the parameters you can scan for. Okay, buy range, market cap, PE. When is the earnings date coming out? You want to look for earnings plays based on companies that are trading at a price of over or under whatever. 50, it's at its 50-day or higher low, or in between it somewhere above it. Then do it as a screen. You can narrow down your candidates really quickly. I would go ahead and scan these here. I'm going to copy it, and then I'm going to go to let's see. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go here. I'm going to right click. I'm going to paste. I don't care about that. I'm going to go here. I'm going to drag this down there. I'm going to right click and copy. I'm going to go over to my option view, and I'm going to close. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to say pound FinViz search. And I'm going to have sure I'm highlighted on that cell there. I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to paste symbols. Bang, there they are. Unsuspend my quotes so that I can put one of these. And it's working. A lot of these probably don't have options. Of course they don't, because I didn't even do a search. But you can jump right fixes there. So, but to go to do a scan and take those candidates, and then you could use those candidates in HedgeFinder. So let's say, I did my FinViz search. I wanted to say I like this group, my FinViz. Is that right? I'm gonna fix it. I would go to in that group. My cursor, I have the field in that group highlighted. So I would go to my selected assets. I would go to my group and pull everything I just pulled up. I didn't do a really good search because I pulled up everything alphabetically, basically. But then I could go to my targets and I say, hey, I have a target. I think these guys are going to move. I'm going to do a bell curve, and I want to bring in you actually have to go over here if you want to use a group, because this is just for a particular asset like this AA symbol here. But I want to think, so you have to select all targets as a bell curve. And I think, the center is not going to change. Utility is not going to change. And I want to look, out in the future. Okay, and then you can say, well, I'm anticipating that implied volatility is going to change whatever amount in the future if you want to. Okay, and if I hit OK, what it's going to do, it's going to go through each of these assets, and it's going to update the price to reflect where it's at right now, change in the volatility. So basically the volatility is going to stay where it's at right now. Okay, well, through all of those, then I would select a strategy. I want to look at all the strategies. I just want to look at going long or maybe doing a covered combo or vertical spreads, whatever you want to do there. Include calls, puts, or both. How much capital do you want to do with the trade? And you could say, I want to consider options only expiring within, because I want to make sure I get weeklies in my search. I just want to look for weekly trades on these. So you would put 9 days or 8 days in here, and it's going to, really just going to zero in on the weeklies for you. Awesome way to search here. You can base it on expected return, best case return, or a ratio of best and worst, or just based on probability of profit. So find trades, that's for sure. And questions coming up here. Let's see. And just looking through my questions. That question about asking about if we have any brokers we're going through. They're coming on the horizon. I was yesterday, but it's a programming thing and it takes time, so we're going to get it going as soon as possible. This is it's going to be Trade Monster, possibly Thinkorswim, possibly Interactive Brokers. Nothing in stone, so let a lot of people know as soon as possible. Delta on EOS versus on OptionVue versus Thinkorswim. You can do. You know what, Larry? I think best. I'm not going to get into that now. It's going to take too much time. I don't want to go too much longer here. Just that video. That's going to answer everything that you know about OptionVue's Delta versus EOS's Delta. Go to OptionVue. Go to YouTube and just type in OptionVue James. Excuse me, one word. You'll see that video. It's the one with 2 views, modeling OptionVue versus Thinkorswim. We talk about the deltas. We talk about the EI, OIO, modeling that Thinkorswim uses. We switch OptionVue over to model like Thinkorswim, and then we switch it over to how you want it to model, how it should model, and how you want OptionVue will give you an edge over those using Thinkorswim. The thing that we're looking at doing also was suggested by someone that uses Thinkorswim. I think we have, I'd say, at least half of our OptionVue users trade through Thinkorswim, but OptionVue, and they've gone back and back tested butterflies and condors and making adjustments according to his rules that he's trading by, and he's picking. The Greeks make a difference in Eurogen, so he was able to back test some stuff which he hasn't shared with us. So we're gonna do it ourselves here shortly, and back test just using with ThinkBack, using Thinkorswim, and put it down and make adjustments according to when they say the Greeks are what they are, and do the same thing using OptionVue's Greeks and when they are, and they did it. Said it. You can do this. It's so easy to see the differences in how the modeling and how make adjustments quicker, making them when you should, getting out of trades when you should quicker, because the modeling's more accurate in OptionVue. That's the edge. That's what you get when you buy OptionVue versus going with the free stuff. But this is excellent. Steve Lentz, we make quick work of the example in 11 minutes. Hope this was helpful for everybody. I'm going to wrap it up there. And I guess John Locke. I spoke to John Locke last week about and shared this video with him right away, and we kind of went back and forth, and still talking about combining put and call skews and having debates on that. So some underlines it's good for, some underlines it's not good for. Steve specifically has a opinion about it. So does Frank Fahey. So ongoing debate. Thank you to everybody. Like I said, check out this my YouTube. Subscribe there if you want to, or come and check it out whenever you want to. If you're not able to make any of these webcasts, I'll make sure I post them for you. Okay, take care, and thanks for coming.